Hello, Professor Clifton. So today I'll be presenting my You Ought to Know project. So I wanted to talk about The Distance Between Us by Reina Grande, which I read in my Chicano literature course. So in the book, Reina is a Mexican immigrant, and her story inspired many as she faced the struggles of being poor and being abandoned by both her mother and her father. Although she faces many hardships, Reina fights through the strife and manages to make her dreams come true. I wanted to talk about this book because I feel like it impacted me a lot. In school, we do not read books about Latino authors. Most often, those authors are left in the shadows and we are taught the same narrative. With The Distance Between Us, I found that my entire class was able to relate to several different parts of the story. Since my class was mostly Latino, I found that we were all able to come together and talk about how the book related to us, even if it was in a minuscule way. My webpage provides a sense of the book and offers as a study guide for students. So the first thing I talked about was readability. When creating a web page, you want to keep the web page aesthetically pleasing. You want to have a page that will draw readers in. Every scholarly web page will have a different theme, and ultimately it is up to the creator to come up with that theme. One thing to remember is that you do not want colors to clash. I wanted to keep my web page simple but mature. I like for things to look simple and clean as it looks more professional. I did not do any crazy colors. I kept my webpage neutral with the wood background at the top in order to try to keep it interesting. Everyone will have their own styles, but it is important to keep in mind that you are writing professionally. If a teacher is going to recommend your page, they're expecting the page to look professional. The second thing is length. You want to keep your web page short. Truthfully, you are writing for lazy people. People are too lazy to read paragraphs upon paragraphs. Try to keep your web page as short as possible in order to keep readers from wanting to keep reading. Students are always trying to find the correct information in a short amount of time. If the web page has too much writing, students will immediately click out and try to find a different web page that gets to the point. With my web page, I try to keep it as short as possible. I provide a character chart with the roles that each character plays in the book. When students are in class and they do not do the reading, it makes it difficult for readers to ask discussing questions. With my webpage, students will be able to see what the book is about and detailed descriptions of the characters while they try to catch up with the reading. And students are also able to come in more prepared due to the fact that my webpage provides a short description of characters and a short description of the book. The third thing is links. So outside sources are always important when creating a webpage. There are always so many subtopics between the main topic. There's always more research to be done. Some students like to look at additional links in order to find out more information about a topic. Providing links to other reliable sources will provide students a chance to gain further knowledge on said subject. My webpage provides links that will help further students' understanding about Reina herself. So here I included links to further information regarding Reina, and then you can also purchase her books and all her other books that she writes. So slide 4 is grammar. So you want to triple check your grammar. Grammar is always an obvious topic. I know that people are always so quick to call out anything that is spelled wrong. Even though spelling things wrong happens all the time in writing, it's important to make sure that your grammar is correct. By not having correct grammar, it shows readers that you went through your writing quickly and did not look back. Sometimes it is difficult to see your mistakes, so have others proofread your work. With my webpage, I made sure that there was nothing spelled wrong. I looked over it many times to make sure that my grammar was correct. If a student finds issue with my grammar, I will lose credibility. Slide 5 is information. So when creating a web page, it's easy to throw a bunch of things together and slap it onto a web page. It's not about the quantity of writing, but rather the quality of the writing. Is the information being provided useful? Or is it a bunch of information that really is not all that useful? People try to create web pages and try to pack in as much information as possible. With my webpage, I did a good job of picking what to write. I gave a synopsis of the book, I gave detailed descriptions of the characters, and what happens in the book. If students are trying to figure out what the book is about, then they can look at my webpage. A lot of students do not do their reading, so my webpage will give students a good chance to figure out what is going on in order to come to class slightly prepared. I also give a small detailed description of each character in the book. When students are in class and they do not do the reading, it makes it difficult for the teacher to ask reading discussion questions. With my webpage, students will be able to see what the book is about and detailed descriptions of characters and themes of the book while they try to catch up with the reading. Slide 3. 6 is include videos. Adding videos always makes a web page that much more interesting. Rather than boring teachers with sentences upon sentences, give the readers a break and give them a fun or interesting video. So here I included an interview with Reina Grande, so then you can hear about her life and what she thinks about the book she wrote. I always like to watch videos when we read books about people, and we always do that in my English classes, and it's interesting to see their daily lives and what inspired them to write the book. Slide 7 is citing sources. So you want to cite every source that you use because you want your webpage to be credible. If you don't cite your sources, students will wonder where you got those sources, and I didn't want to risk my page not looking professional. So here I have all the sources that I use, and they're all credible sources. Slide 8 is creativity. So you want your page to be creative or else readers will get bored. For this assignment, I try to be as creative as possible without overdoing it due to the fact that the page still has to be professional. I played around with different fonts and have pictures in order to draw readers in. Slide 9 is take a picture, paint a picture. So this means that a web page should always have pictures rather than just text upon text. Pictures make a web page less boring and more inviting. You do not just want to write to the readers, but also show the readers what you're talking about. In my webpage, I included pictures of the book, pictures of Reina Grande, and pictures of Mexico. I didn't want my webpage to be boring, so I had pictures of Reina after I wrote about her. And slide 9 is staying organized. So you want your webpage to be organized because you are having a lot of information that you're providing. So I wrote first about what the book is about, and then about the author, and then themes of the book, and lastly the interview. So you want the most important things to be at the top, and then everything else just trickles down. And that's it for my webpage presentation. Thank you.